Hello everyone, welcome again to Real Class. My name still remains M.A. Ido, and this time we are looking at the formal letter because in our previous class we discussed informal letter. And what's a formal letter? A formal letter is a letter written to someone in an official position, all right? And being that you are writing to someone occupying a particular office, there are some crucial features that must go with it. Now, earlier in our previous class, I told you that when you are writing a formal letter, you avoid using colloquial expressions or slangs. Okay, what's up? All right, all those expressions that show familiarity should not be allowed. Okay, then you must avoid the use of contractions. Words like, didn't. This is what they call contraction. All right, isn't. It isn't working. I didn't know. For an official letter, you're not allowed to use, this is what they call contraction. Doesn't. All these ones should not be what allowed. And again, you are not allowed to make use of idioms. Idioms are expressions that are figurative. In other words, they have hidden meanings. So you are not expected to write to someone in an official position and you expect the person to begin to struggle to decipher, struggle to interpret what you are trying to arrive at. So you must try as possible to be as plain, all right, as you could. Now, that's that. And when you are writing a formal letter, these are things you must actually put into consideration. This is the structure. You must have your own address. That's the own address, the person writing, then the addressee, the person you are writing to. All right, the address is here. Then you have your what? Your salutation here. Then you are writing to a man or a woman. Then this is your heading. All right, this is what you are trying to write about. Your topic of discussion. Okay. Yes. Now let's look at the address. Earlier, when we were looking at informal letter, I let us know how the address is always structured, whether formal or informal. Now, you don't put number. I'm repeating that again. Just put 8. Then you put the street, Agoro Street. Don't forget that in an informal letter, you can even contract that street as STR. Then you put comma. But for a formal letter, you are not allowed. Any form of contraction is not allowed. Then you put the place you are residing, Uselu, you put comma there as evident on the board. Benin City, that's where we are writing from generally. Then you put full stop, since it's still within Benin. Then you write your date. You see the way I've put first here. If you are writing address and you put it this way first, this is first position. This is first position, so you are not allowed to put this. All right, to put first, you drag the 1, then you put S and T down. Then you put your month, which is June there. You after the month, you put your comma, then you put your year, which is 2023 there. Then you put full stop, not comma anymore. Then after that, you are now writing to someone, right? If the letter says, write a letter to your principal, all right, apologizing to him about your involvement in the last crisis, all right, that came up in school. Okay, after your own address, what do? You write your principal's address, the principal, you put your comma, all right, because you are addressing to the principal. Mary School, you put your comma, then you write the address, PMB 111, you put your comma, Benin City, full stop. Don't put any other date here. If you put date here, that's another failure. They will have to circle it for you because you can't have double date in one address. All right. Then shortly after that, you must watch your addressee. All right. Then you leave a line, you go down a little. Your salutation must follow the same line as your addressee. All right, as the address of the word addressee. Okay. Yes, it must follow the same line. You cannot shift it. Let it follow the same line. You see there. All right. So, dear sir, comma, or dear ma, comma, all right. If it is sir, you are writing to your ma, you put comma, any of it. All right. Then after that, you look at this heading here. All right, what you do, this is your topic, what you are writing about. If you are going to be writing in capital letter, don't underline. If you underline, it's another failure, very powerful one. Don't underline. Then if you must, put in normal letters, that's uppercase and lowercase letters, then you have to underline, then you put your full stop there. All right, yes, but right now it is in capital letters, so you don't have to underline, leave it that way. Then you come here, you begin, all right, writing. Okay, you begin writing. After writing there, sir or ma, I wish to apologize for my involvement in the crisis that took place last week in my school. All right, I wish to apologize. All right, you see now, I wish to apologize. This is where you are writing it. Okay, I wish to apologize for the crisis that took place in my school. All right, last week. I am very sorry. I never knew that it will result in such a chaos. On a normal note, on a normal ground, I am a very gentle person, but it was my friends that actually pushed me into getting myself involved in such an unscrupulous, behavior. I promise that such a thing will never repeat itself. If it does, then I should be expelled from school at that point in time. Then after your apologies to your principal and all of that, you can now open another paragraph to say, I will be glad if my apologies or if my apology is accepted. After that, what you do is to go to the complementary clause, which you write at that point, just the same point you write your complementary clause in your informal letter. You structure it here, all right? But as you are structuring it there, this is how you write it. You now write yours. Let me put it this way. Although if I put it here, you know that's where you are putting it. Okay? You now write yours. Okay? Never you put apostrophe, whether informal or formal. Because if you put apostrophe here before s, what it means is that your is. Alright, so the best complementary clause for a formal letter is yours faithfully. See the way it is. Then you put your first name and your surname. You understand? You even put a signature. First of all, you can put a all right, you may decide not to still put that signature there. You can just write yours faithfully. You write Idowu Momo. You put your full stop. All right, having done that, then you are ready. Take note, when you are writing, examiners may not even have time to begin to read your letter, but it is the way you structure it that will make the examiner know that you know what you are writing. Because any examiner that sees your structure may not have to stress himself or stress herself, because the person knows that already you are a scholar and you know what you are writing. Anybody that sees address like this, that sees the address of the address, see this way, then the salutation, then what you want to write about, then your complimentary clause, the person already knows that you know what you are writing. And the way you open it, I wish to apologize. All right, then when you are writing this way, it goes a long way to let the examiner know that you know what you are writing. Okay, so that's that for brief introduction to formal letter, so that in our next class we look at some few things about register.